How are we going, everyone? This is the first time I'm lifting this bird netting. This is the wildlife netting, which it's got the smaller aperture so the birds don't get caught up on it. And in the earlier season, or earlier in the season, we set this up so we can protect it from codling moth and other nasty pests. If you want to come in here with us. Now, we've been under this netting since it started, well, since it set fruit actually, not when it was flowering, because we needed the pollinators to get in and do their job in setting fruit on this. But what we found last year, I didn't cover it, and I haven't covered two other trees outside, and I've done this, you know, I'm sacrificing a couple of trees to see the effect between netting and tree bands versus one without netting, and obviously no tree band, because this tree in particular, almost every fruit, if not all the fruit, was attacked by codling moth. I'm having a look here, so they're actually bite marks, puncture marks. I'm looking for a little bit of a round spot on the side. There's any here? Is there one? No, that's a scab on it. That's from heat and change of weather. That, oh, no, at the moment, no, that's been eaten. Look at this, let me take that off. See, that's bird damage or pest damage, you know, whether it's a rat, but up here this high it couldn't be. I don't recognise those marks, but anyway, that is a pest that's doing it. We've got some more here, so we've got more of a viral. Oh, look at that. Is that codling moth? Is that codling moth? Hard to tell. Really? There's nothing in it. No, it's just a bit of scab on there, so it's not the codling moth. So we haven't got any, you know, frass, whatever they call that stuff that comes out from the grub that's inside there. So what we've done here, I won't drag this out too long, we put a tree band around the base. Let me have a quick look, make sure it's still there. Yes, it is. Now that's masking tape with a tree guard on it. It's not too late, and actually it's still active. The insects are still active. We're talking codling moth, fruit fly, in particular fruit fly, and citrus gall wasp. We're here with the apple tree. This has got the netting on it. Now, I know not everybody will be able to cover all their trees, but get the ones that are most susceptible and most vulnerable to the pest. This one here, out of the three trees here, was the one that was copying the most. But let's go for a walk. Now, I haven't thinned out, and we're not going far, by the way. We're going to go around the bush here, anti-clockwise, wherever we can fit. Now, I haven't thinned out the apples, and normally you take every second or third apple out, and that will give the tree the opportunity to grow the rest of them larger. Look, you can thin them, and it's a great thing to do. You like a larger apple, I suppose it's more flavoursome. Well, I wouldn't say more flavoursome, just larger and juicy, so you eat only one apple. I like to eat multiple apples. These are clean. But compared to last year, I think I threw out about 90% of the apples I gave them to the chooks. This is spotless. Not a single spray on here. I was going to do the CGWS, but I didn't. I put the netting on, I put the codling moth trap on here, and I've got the tree guard at the base. So this year it didn't get a spray, and now we're going to taste it. It is perfume-like. Do you know what when I say perfume-like? You can travel far and wide in supermarkets and search for the best tasting apple, and the best ones will be out of your own yard, not from any supermarket store. The carbon footprint, if you want to go down that path, you know, the travels, the atmospheric pressure in the air, doesn't affect the apple when it's grown in your backyard, but it affects it, the one that comes from another state or another country, goes into gas chambers, and then ends up in a supermarket, polished and waxed. What for? What for? I haven't sprayed these trees. This is what I'm going to do with all my trees in the orchard. We're going to cover the whole place. We're going to cover all the other trees. That's a Granny Smith out there that I'm looking at. I haven't covered this one. I've done it purposely so we can see the results of what would happen to the tree. Let's look for some codling moth quickly. But what I've also got here, so you can see, because we have the hailstones or the hailstorm, look at this. That is damage from hailstone. That's got at least 6 or 8 hits from hailstones on that fruit there in particular. And it's like that across the board. Here's a fruit, that's been hit there. That one there has got the grub inside. Let me get my secateurs. Give me a second, I'll go and get my secateurs. There you go. See what it does? It grubs all the way in to the centre. Is it in here? I can't see, I haven't got my glasses. Can you see? That's the damage the grubs do, the codling moth grub. And that's what will happen to all your fruit, and that's what I haven't got on the other apple tree. But this Granny Smith has copped it. I can't see the grub, I haven't got my glasses. Is that it there? What is that? No, that's something else. There you go. Anyway, folks, this is what happens with grubs. And if you've got apple trees and you don't look after them, well, you're going to be eating an apple and a little bit of protein at the same time. Now this tree is also going to get cut down right down for the summer growth. We're going to take all that off once we harvest. Like I said, harvest your fruit and then wait a couple of weeks after the last harvest and take all the fruit off, all the summer growth off it, and just cut it down to the arm's reach. Look at that, sunburn damage and hailstone damage. So this is what can happen to your trees if you've got radical weather like we have down here in Victoria. Netting serves multiple purposes, benefits for your garden. Yes, you've got to worry about the pollinators, but don't net your plants when the flowers are blooming. You know, when you've got flowers all over your trees and all things like that. But when they set fruit, by all means net them, tree band them, and hang your traps up and prune. Aeration, cleaning and thinning out. I sacrificed a couple of plants just for you guys so you can see what sort of damage can happen, yet I still have thousands of fruit. And it sounds crazy when I say thousands, but if you look inside here, there are literally, if not hundreds, 1,000 fruit on here, but they're all pretty much marked. So we're going to be eating protein apples here, folks. There you go. Vasily is my name, and apple trees is my game. Have a look at these. Oh, look at these. Like grapes hanging off a tree. These are delicious, folks. This is really delicious. Still early, but still full of flavour. So, codling moth trap. Here it is in here, hanging up. Ideally, you should have them away from the tree, not to attract them, but because this is under netting, I've had to put it in the tree. So hopefully it goes to there. And so far, let's have a look at these. Any fruit affected, couple of spots here and there, but nothing, there's nothing inside. You can see a couple of either mice or rats got in here, and maybe a bird or two snuck in somehow under the netting, but nothing to destroy the plant. So net your trees. You still got trees that you're harvesting as they're ripening now, and I can show you the Asian apples or Asian pear trees I've got on the other side. They've almost destroyed every apple on there. Asian pear, sorry. Net them, tree guard, hang your traps, and if you need to, spray them as well, and that will protect your trees. But avoid the sprays. Always use that as a last caution or precaution if you need to, or last measure if everything else seems to fail. Other than that, you'll be able to find all these wonderful products on our website, folks. Now, those who haven't subscribed to Vasily's Garden to Kitchen magazine, give it a go. You've got nothing to lose and so much information to gain. If you're asking about books from me that I've written a couple of books in the past. We'll reprint them, but all that information is in our magazines. We've got over 30 issues, and you can rest assured as a magazine subscriber, you automatically become a VIP, which gives you access to the VIP rates online, that is. So everything is up to 80% off every day of the year for the VIP members. Take advantage of that and shop at your leisure, not only when we have our specials, and enjoy some great reading with our magazine. So that's Vasily's Garden to Kitchen magazine, 4 issues delivered, and all the other great benefits you can read about online at vasilysgarden.com. From me, Vasily, Maresi.